Hello and welcome, coaches, to this fall soccer season. My name is Romain Hill. I'm your sports director of the Northeast YMCA. And today we're going to enter into our coaches packet and go over a few things that it's necessary for us to kind of go over. First thing we're going to go over is the schedule of events. So if you open up your packet into the schedule of events and flip it to page number 2, we're just going to touch base on a few dates that are very important for everyone to realize. First thing first is that our emails are going to send out rosters to everyone, all participants, on August the 23rd. We ask that you wait until August the 25th before you contact any players that are on your list, because as of the 25th, the final rosters will be finalized, and at that point, you will be able to contact the appropriate kids to let them know that they're on your team. Also, this year our orientation is going to be held on August 27th and the 28th, depending on whether or not you're on a Saturday or a Sunday league. Our Saturday league will conduct their orientation and pictures on August the 27th, and so it's important that you call your players and remind their parents that August 27th is your date. If you're in the Sunday league, August the 28th is a date that you want to call and let your parents know what time they do need to be there. If you look at your roster, on the roster, at the very bottom, it has your orientation date and your time, and also it has listed as a picture time. Your picture time is the time that your picture will be taken. So we do ask that you have everyone arrive at least 15 minutes prior to that time in order to have anything that needs to be done, regardless if it's jersey changes, sock changes, any questions that you all may have, you can have that taken care of. We also ask that all parents that are purchasing pictures come and pay for those pictures ahead of time so that when they go through the line, all the kids will be ready at the proper time. Also, the first week of practices will begin the week of August the 29th. Everyone's practice, depending on what day has been chosen, is listed on your roster, and so according to that roster is the day and times that you would need to show up at your practice facility. When it comes to practices, we will have a practice supervisor at each site that's going to be out there to help conduct you in which direction you need to go to in order to figure out which field you will be placed at every single week. When it comes to games, all of our games will begin the week of September the 10th, which is a Saturday, for the Saturday League, and then games for the Sunday Division will start on September the 11th. Game times will range from Saturdays from 9 a.m. all the way to a start time of possibly 1:30 p.m., depending on what age group your child is playing in, or your team is playing in. Also, for the Sunday Division, it depends on which age group you are in, but game times do start from 1 o'clock and range all the way up to 4 p.m. When it comes to the games, you will have a designated schedule that will actually list what time, what location, and where you need to be at when it regards for field number. When it comes to our older age group teams, all of our 10 and ups, you will be traveling throughout to different YMCAs. So it's important that you do pay attention to that game schedule to see which location it is telling you that you need to play at. Also, in regards to that, when it comes to your different game locations, if your team is not playing at the Northeast YMCA site, you need to call the hotline that corresponds to the game field that you will be at. So if you have a game at the Southeast YMCA, it means that you need to call the Southeast YMCA hotline in order to find out if your games are on or if they have been canceled. If for a reason we have to make up more than one game, we will have that first game makeup starting the week of October the 17th. And what we do is we take your practice night and we take that practice night and make that into a game night. For some teams, we're able to have your practice night be your game night. For other teams, it might conflict a little bit because depending on how many teams practice on the same week, on the same day, will help determine whether or not we will have that ability to have you on your practice night. If we have more than 2 makeup games, we'll have to include other weeknights throughout the week after our regular scheduled game in order to have those games made up. The last games originally are scheduled for October the 29th and October the 30th, 29th being for the Saturday League, and then the 30th being for our Sunday night leagues. On the last day of games, October the 29th and October the 30th, all the children playing in the league 7 and under will all receive trophies or a medallion. For the age groups 3-year-olds through the 4 or 5-year-olds will all receive trophies. For our age groups that are 6 and 7 will all receive medallions. So if we flip it over to page number 3, on page number 3 is just a few general information tidbits that we need to go over. One we kind of already talked about when it comes to rainouts. Remember, the first rainout we will not make up, but anything from that point on, 2, 3, 4, 5, we will make those games up, and they will be done throughout the week on your practice nights. All of our games and our practices are held with a YMCA employee. We do not go to an outside source. We have all employees within our branch that are properly trained when it comes to practice supervisor, and also properly trained when it comes to officials for the different age groups. The third thing that we have to talk about is that every coach is required to fill out a criminal background check. That ensures that we have the proper coaches that are by law eligible to go out and handle the kids. Fourth thing is when it comes to shirts and socks. All kids will receive their jerseys and their socks the day of orientation, right before their pictures. If there's any problem with any shirt size, we ask that you take it over to Joe over at our shirt table, and he will be able to take care of that for you. And within a week, we will have that ready for you at your next game or practice. When it comes to the size of balls that the children play with, all kids that play with in the age range of 3-year-old to a 5-year-old use a size 3 ball. Our 6 to 11-year-olds all use a size 4 ball, and then our 12 and 14-year-olds will all play with a size 5 ball. The only exception is the age division 11 and 14-year-old girls. That age group will use a size 5 soccer ball when they do play their games. If you have a location where you have to go to the water tower, regardless if it's practice or if it's games, we ask that no one park in the grass median between the 2 roads. This has been an issue in years past, and the Louisville Water Company asks that we please do not park on that, because they're actually parking on top of a main water line that could break and cause issues throughout the city. So we do ask that no one park in that median, and we ask that you tell your parents and reinforce that with us. So we turn the page to the next one, over to page 4. We kind of talk about the YMCA philosophy, and our big philosophy within our Y is athletes first, winning second. And basically what that means is that we're more worried about the developmental skill of the kids and them understanding the game of soccer than we are about them going out and winning a game. This league here is designed for kids that don't have the opportunities to go out and play for their club teams and don't have the opportunity to go out and play for the high school teams, but allow them to develop those skills to eventually make it out and play in a club team, or make it out and play on their middle school or high school team. So we do ask that you keep your competition level to a minimum, and we ask that you really focus on developing the skill sets that the players need in order to make it at the next level. Over on the next one, we talk about character development. Character development is very important as a coach. For our coaches, it's very important that you all resemble a role model for our children. The kids will mimic anything that you do, so if you're caught in a situation where you disagree with something that an official has called, we ask that you take that matter to the official at the appropriate time, which is either at the end of your quarter or at the end of your half. We ask that you please not yell at the officials, because if the kids see you yelling at the officials, then they feel that it's okay for them to take the same issue and yell at the official as well. We feel that this bad practice behavior is something that could take kids in the wrong direction down the road, and we don't want to do that. And so we ask that you please do that in a respectful manner and have character for yourself, so that the character that you resemble reflects upon your team. The next page, you flip it over, are disciplinary actions that we have to go through when it comes to coaches. Hopefully no coach actually ever has to go through this. There has been disciplinary actions taken against coaches in the past, but we do hope that this never has to ever happen again. Please take the time to kind of review through these disciplinary actions and see the different actions that will be taken if you are caught violating any of these actions. There are disciplinary actions that are taken against the kids that are given red cards for a game, and those will be dealt with me hands-on and the official hands-on, as well as yourself. And so in that regard, if you do have any questions, please email me or call me, and hopefully none of these actions will ever have to take place within our leagues. Last, when it comes to just the packet alone, we have a few pieces of information that we need the coaches to review and sign. First thing is the child abuse prevention procedures. Being a part of a nonprofit agency, the YMCA is very big on making sure that kids are not abused, regardless if it's neglect, amongst other things that we can discuss at a later time. But we ask that you kind of review these procedures, and if you notice anything or question anything in regards to a child being abused in your team, please inform us so that we can let the proper agency know, so that the proper techniques need to be taken will be taken. Behind that, we have the code of ethics as a coach. We just want the coaches to review that, sign it, and basically what this is stating that as a coach is that you're going to do your job and do the best that you can at being a coach, showing up on time, being at your games on time, being at your practices on time, and making sure that you're a big influence amongst the kids in a positive way and being the role model that they need to have in their lives in order to make it better as a soccer player this season. Inside your packet, you will notice that you do have a roster. On that roster is listed are the players, their parents' name, the home phone number, possibly a cell number, and even an email. We ask that you contact your players as of the 25th and let them know about the orientation. Also, we ask that if there is a game cancellation, we ask that you do call or email your team and let them know about that cancellation. We feel as a coach that you really need to have a hands-on experience with your team, and on that, what we mean by is we want you to develop a relationship not only with your players, but also with their parents. If you're able to adopt that relationship with the parents and the players, it makes for your team to be a stronger unit, and down the road, it makes for you to have an even better season. Not only that, you can also bring on some of the dads and some of the moms that can help out on your team to allow your team to have the solidity that it needs in order to make it throughout the season. And also along the lines, when it comes to your roster, if you have a number or you have an email that's not working for you, please contact me and let me do a little research to see how we can get a hold of a better number and a better email address in order to contact that family. Also listed inside your packet are your rules. Each age division has its own set of rules. I ask that you please read over your rules. If you have any questions in regards to those rules, let me know about that so I can help you address those issues and hopefully get less conflict so that when it comes to game time, there won't be any questions asked at that point in time. Also in the packet, we have some YMCA youth soccer coaching drills. We ensure that these drills are proper for 4 and 5-year-olds on up all the way through our 12 and 14-year-old divisions. Our 3-year-old coaches can use these drills as well, even though the attention span of 3-year-olds tends to be a little bit shorter than a lot of the other age divisions. These drills will be good for you just as much. When it does come to 3-year-olds, the main thing that we're really trying to focus on is helping the kids adapt to the ability of passing the ball, trying to make a ball inside the goal, and then just run up and down the field. Next in your packet is we developed a little roster form to ensure that each kid plays at least 2 quarters. One thing that makes the Y different and exceptional for a lot of the other programs is that every child within the Y gets to at least play 2 full quarters of soccer. And this roster format will allow you to go out and make that happen. You usually just write the player's name in, write down which quarter they're in, write down whether or not they're playing offense and defense. That way you ensure that each child does get an opportunity to play at least a quarter in offense and also a quarter of defense. Like I said before, within the Y, every child does get to play, and this ensures that every child will play every game at least 2 quarters. The other thing inside of our packet is our weekly core exercises. 4 things that the Y has core values for are caring, responsibility, respect, and honesty. And we feel that you can tie those things into your practices just by reviewing this sheet and reading those off to your players and allowing them to adapt to those core values and allowing them to have a better understanding of some of the YMCA values. Also inside your packet, last but not least, is we have a healthy snack list. We feel that being a member of the community and trying to step out into the community, we have to influence young kids to eat healthier and have healthier snacks. So we ask that you pass out the healthy snack list, email it to your team, and let all the parents know that there are healthier options out there besides cupcakes and donuts and sodas to bring to your practices and to your games. And we ask that if you have any other things that you would like to suggest or add to that, you inform us so that we can add that to our snack list for later seasons that we can also pass out as well. Last but not least, I would like to say thank you for taking the time out of your schedule and becoming a coach. And if you have any questions or any concerns that you need to address with myself or our youth sports coordinator, Aaron Beeman, please contact us and let us know. We want to make sure that this season is the best season that you had in our fall soccer program and hope that you can come back for more youth sport activities later on. Thank you and have a great day.